Hi, Haley. Yes, hi, Haley. Absolutely. I just wanted to wait one more minute for a few more people to join, but I'm happy to start. So, hello to everyone in Boston. Good afternoon. It's already nighttime here in London. I just wanted to briefly introduce myself before I was asked to open up to questions. So, my name is Caroline Wilhelm, and I'm the founder of Copé Active, which is a high-end activewear e-commerce platform based in London. And we just launched Copé 4 months ago in July. And before that, before I was doing Copé Active, I went to the Damore McKim School of Business and graduated in 2010. Before I then worked for 2 years in New York in executive search. And then I did my master's at Columbia University and graduated in 13. So really, while I was studying and working in the US, I caught a complete gym bug, how I like to call it. I had to try every single studio class, especially in New York City. And I was very fascinated by how beautiful people were dressing up and how gorgeous everybody looked when they were working out. So my love for the fitness industry, and particularly for clothes, grew stronger and stronger. And then I went back to Europe at the end of 2013 and saw that there was really a gap in the market and that there was no niche brands available to the Europeans here that could make them stand out, and that kind of breached the time between going from the gym or going to the gym to the other errands of the day. And this is where the idea for Copé really came about. And now I import 17 brands, mostly from Australia and from the US, to Europe, and I distribute them globally. And so far, it's been an absolute incredible journey. Lots of ups and downs, lots of learning from mistakes and from successes. And I was asked today to share some of these learning processes with you and some of the things I experienced. And I'm happy to tell you anything I can about the last year nearly now in the preparation and launch for Copé Active. Sorry, I'm just reading your questions. I'm originally German, but I studied in the States at Northeastern and then for 2 years and then for 2 years at Columbia and worked for 2 years in New York. So I lived in the States for 6 years. And then I moved to London. So I'm sorry if my accent is confusing. Why I chose Northeastern? Northeastern for me, so I only applied to Northeastern and to another university in New York, but really my preference was always Northeastern, just because of the co-op program and because I had family members and friends that had been going there, and I was very impressed by what they brought back and the characters that that came out of Northeastern. It's a very practical approach, and I think Northeastern attracts a very go-getter type of person, and I wanted to be part of that network. And it was one of my happiest days when I got the acceptance letter of Northeastern. I very, very much remember it as if it was yesterday. So I don't regret a single moment there. And sorry, my phone keeps on moving around. My work experience before starting Copé was 2 years in an executive search firm in New York. where I did, I would say, very heavy lifting, nearly even salesy roles, which prepared me a lot for pitches that I'm doing at the moment right now. But it was a great experience working in an international team of executive search consultants, alongside with another graduate of Northeastern, which was great. And then I did my master's degree at Columbia University in organizational psychology, which was always a field I wanted to explore and was very interesting to me, especially after my business studies at Northeastern. And then I worked for a year at Spencer Stuart, which is also executive search and succession planning. It's a US company, but I worked for their London team here before I then finished at Spencer Stuart in January, when I knew that I wanted to dedicate my entire time to Copé Active. I can see a few people joining and joining in again. I think the connection is bad. I'm really sorry about if there's any delay as well. The hardest thing about starting a business, I think, was the beginning steps. The beginning phases when you plan everything and you lay out what exactly the business will look like and what your time frame will be and what the cost will be involved, etc. And then you actually realize a few months down the road that your predictions are most likely not completely accurate. And facing that ambiguity and then really going ahead with it and pulling through, that was really the hardest thing. I think the hardest thing to starting a business is actually doing it. So yeah, I think that was very scary and is still a bit scary. It keeps you on your toes every day, which is great. I can also show you my office. I was asked by Haley and Ian, who you all know, I'm sure, at Northeastern, to show you my office. My office, right now, I'm the last man standing. It's a bit late in London already, but I can show you a little bit. It's very homey, it's very startup-y, so bear with me. So it's in the lower ground floor of our house, which is great. So I wake up and I shower and I go downstairs. And this is the Copé Active office. Usually we're 4 people here, and we all sit around this big table. We have lunch together, and we work from here. And it's a very startup-y atmosphere, and I absolutely love it, and hope to grow my team much more, and maybe one day I'll have a bigger table. But this is where we work from, and this is where the ideas happen. And then we have, which is another question people were asking, where the stock is. We have a warehouse outside of London, 2 hours north, that stocks and receives all the stock from all over the world, labels it with SKU codes that we provide, and then they distribute and send it and handle the logistics of the products. So then I just received another question about social media and its importance within a startup business. To be honest, I was and still am getting used to the amount of social media that is important and not even enough that we're doing in a startup business. It's really become one of the most important marketing and PR tools we have. I've just recently invested in one employee that is completely dedicated to the social media and digital marketing part of Copé Active. And I think it's probably one of the most important ways, and it's probably one of the most important tools for us to spread about what we are, who we do, what we do, what events we host. And it's a very holistic approach that we have at Copé, meaning that if we know that a new product is coming in to the warehouse, we then prepare weeks in advance what the posts of all channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, will be on that day when this product arrives on the website, when I can make it live. And then there's this kind of holistic push about the new product coming up, or a holistic push about an event that we're hosting, etc., which is also something I would love to share with the Northeastern community, is our events that we're hosting, mostly for charity. And one is coming up on the 3rd of December with a very famous Australian yogi here at Imperial College. So I'm hoping that some students that will be at Northeastern in the next term that are currently at Imperial will actually attend this event. And there's more information, obviously, on our Facebook and on the Instagram as well. Advice for Northeastern students to start their own business. Yes, absolutely. I think my time at Northeastern, especially, and I've said that as well in the interview with Thea Singer, where the article came from, is that the people you surround yourself with are the people that pushed me to really do what I wanted to do. And it's because it's a scary process. You're on your own. And in the beginning, I was sitting here by myself, which is not fun if you're used to working in a team and in an established business where everything works. And you pick up the phone, and the tech support calls you back immediately with an answer. So my advice to Northeastern students that want to start a business is really do your research properly, and don't only do that to prove your own business. Obviously, that's the most important part, but do it so you are credible and you know what you're doing. I did a lot of research. I had an external consultant helping me establish the business plan and the numbers as close to reality as we could predict numbers. And that will help you. Writing a business plan is not something that we do, but just because it's, a protocol that you just have to tick the box. Writing a business plan and really thoroughly thinking through what you're doing and why your service or product is going to be appealing to anyone, that will help you figure out questions along the way that you haven't thought about. So my biggest advice is really do your research, and it doesn't matter if it takes a half year or a year or longer. If you need that time to answer all the questions until you are sure and 100% convinced of your own idea, and you know that somebody else will be convinced of your idea because you have research that proves that, that's the most important. Thank you so much, Haley. If there's anything else, let me know. I think we're at the end of the session, and really, really appreciate the time that we spent together and kind of having a little connection again to Northeastern. So thank you very, very much for all your questions. And if there's anything, you can always email me. I'm very happy to give advice as much as I can. And yeah, sending all my best wishes to Northeastern. Bye.